Hello, FE2 2 enthusiast. My name is Chris Semler, and today we'll be exploring the unused, altered, and unseen content of FE2 2. This Gonna Be Easy was a map created by crazyblox in the pre-alpha stage of FE2 2 and was featured in the 2017 map making tutorial on his YouTube channel, which has since been deleted. The one image of this map reveals that it was intended to have a nature tone. The exit region is seen in the beginning, and the map was predicted to have around 1 to 3 buttons, however it's unclear how many buttons there are in all. Humble Jungle was an easy map created by crazyblox from 2018 to 2020 with around 4 buttons. The map takes place mostly in the center of a tiny flooding jungle. Not much has been said about this map since April of 2020. This map would have contained a new feature called the Death Pit, but it's unknown what it would have done. This unnamed cave map was made by crazyblox. This is one of the most elusive cancelled maps because there's only one video to prove it existed. It has at least 2 buttons and is set in a dirt-colored cave and has a liquid that, when you're in it, prevents you from swimming but allows you to jump higher than usual. 2 buttons are also present, one of them is submerged in the water. This unnamed water map was made by crazyblox. The reason this map is cancelled is because of FE2 2's old physics flinging the player around underwater. The map had a brownish color scheme and took place in an underwater ruin with cobblestone pillars and walls. Purple Sector was an easy map made by crazyblox. The setting of the map was a facility with blue, gray, and purplish pink as the color scheme. Not much else is known about the map as it was cancelled as confirmed in the FE2 2 Q&A. The test map and new thing are in the same section because they are both used in the 2017 map-making tutorial video. In new thing there's at least 1 button that opens a door. The walls are brown and the floor is bronze-colored concrete. In test map, the map floods immediately once the player loads in. The ground is grass and the brick walls are blue. There's an air tank somewhere in the map, but little else is known about these 2 maps. The unnamed Halloween map was a hard map made by crazyblox with at least 2 buttons. The only image shows a tree with a pathway into a castle and a ravine-like crevice striking down the middle. This map was originally going to replace Graveyard Cliffside, but then it got revamped and this map was cancelled. Was an insane map created by crazyblox. The secret room texture was used throughout, and there are many floating blocks and wall jumps located on the side. This map was most likely made for fun by crazyblox and probably would not have been added to the game. Scientific was a hard map created by crazyblox. This map is the oldest on this list, and it was created in 2016. The wall and the floor textures are the same as Darkside Facilities. It has an underwater section, but little else is known about this map. Fallen got remade and moved to Insane difficulty in 2022, and the old Fallen got removed. The lost page for this map was moved to Insane, and it's the only lost page in Insane difficulty. This is one of the only maps on this list that was previously playable inside of FE2 2 before its removal. Autumn Hideaway is the only community-made removed map on this list and was previously playable in FE2 2. The map was a hard map and was removed in January of 2019. The map is situated on high mountains and it has a lake and a waterfall. The map is covered in trees, wooded structures like fences, torches, bridges, and other items. This map is considered to be the predecessor to the map in the current game known as Fall Equinox. Autumn Hideaway was removed due to an incident involving the creator, although I will not bring it up here. No Light, also known as Dark Science, was a crazy map made by crazyblox, which was supposed to be the sequel to Dark Side Facility. No Light had a teaser video posted to YouTube in 2019, although it has now been unlisted. There is a lot of information regarding this map, and I have a whole separate video on it which you can find in the description. This lighting was used by Roblox for many years before it was phased out and replaced by Shadow Map. Any Flood Escape 2 videos before 2020 will use the old lighting system, which, let's be honest, was pretty bad in comparison to now. Prolock, previously known as Insane Lock, was a feature guaranteeing that the difficulty of the next 3 maps would be at least Insane difficulty. You could purchase Prolock with 10 gems or 200 coins. This feature was removed in favor of the intensity system, which came out with about the release of Poisonous Chasm in late 2020. The Death Pit was a feature that would have been introduced with Humble Jungle, which was cancelled. It is unknown what the Death Pit would have actually done to the player if they'd fell into it. Would it have taken away the player's oxygen, or would it have trapped the player? We'll most likely never know. No Swim was a liquid that would have been introduced in the No Swim cave map, which was also cancelled. The player would not be able to swim in the liquid, but they would be able to move slower than normal and jump higher, although this feature was never finished. The ability to press buttons before they were active used to be a feature. Inactive buttons that are above the second button that were green were able to be pressed. This feature was extremely OP and broken, and it was eventually removed. Speaking of buttons, the original color of pressed buttons used to be dark red. The first version of group buttons consisted of the button being huge and the players having to stand on it to activate it at the same time. I think we're all glad that this feature didn't get added. Skydiving was a feature that would have allowed players to slowly fall to their destination. It was showed off in No Light, but the map was never finished and the feature got scrapped. The Custom Flood Colors Game Pass would have allowed players to edit the color of the flood in their game. This Game Pass is a reference to Flood Escape Classic's Theme Color Game Pass. The Game Pass would have costed around 300 to 350 Robux, but the feature has been canned and will most likely never be added. There are 3 badges that are unobtainable, 2 of which were once obtainable. The 2 badges are the Hidden Treasure badge that was available in the secret area in Forgotten Tombs during Roblox's Hidden Treasure event. The second is the Metaverse badge, which was obtainable when the player collected a certain amount of lost pages during Roblox's Metaverse event. The third badge is unnamed and it's unknown how it would have been obtained. And lastly, we have the old interactives, and for those who don't know about map making, this may not make sense. Parts would be named, for example, _fall1 or _appear2, instead of having an object value or string value attached to said object. Familiar Ruins used to be called Deja Vu, which is referencing the fact that it's a destroyed version of Flood Escape Classic. Flood Island used to be called Beach. Dark Side Facility looked very different in its original development, with a more blocky build in the hardware section, which was later changed to what we have today. Sinking Ship looked completely different in its first version, and I'll let the footage play right now. cave system also looked extremely different in its first iteration, and I'll let the footage play right now. Here is a picture of Graveyard Cliffside before the revamp that caused the unnamed Halloween map to get cancelled. Here's a picture of the first version of Infiltration. Darkside Forest was mildly different before its revamp in 2021. Now this does not really count as a map, but I'm gonna include it here anyways. The old versions of the lift have changed drastically over the years from how it originally was in 2016. Now, the last section that would have been featured in this video is the OSTs, but there's so many unused OSTs that if I included them, this video would have been 10 hours long, so I recommend this video by CamoDev that has mostly unused OSTs. And he also has a playlist on his YouTube channel with the rest of the unused OSTs, so I suggest checking that out if you're interested, link in the description. And that wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed exploring all the lost Flood Escape 2 media with me. I definitely learned a lot about Flood Escape 2 during the making of this video. Special thanks to CamoDev for providing most of the information used, and on that very high note, see you all next time.